This is a reading for Dipti, and we're going to be doing past, present, future and looking at different options for her and her fiance. Now for this reading, I will be using the Gilded Tarot deck, and the spread I'm using is a 9-card spread, and it is the past, present, future with options. So the 3 cards in the middle, far left will be the past, the middle will be the present situation, and the future is the current, the future that will be should they follow their current path. The very upmost card will be option A, and the 2 cards below that are the advice or warnings regarding that option to make that option happen. Option B at the very bottom is another potential option if she follows the advice or the warning of the 2 cards just above that one. Now in the bottom corner I also have here an additional card because when I did the reading there was a jumper. So we're going to get started, and again the first card is representing the past, and for this one here we have the 5 of Pentacles. Now it's normal or in its upright position. This one talks about kind of a financial strain, a financial loss, but because this is in a reverse situation, it talks about recovering from a loss financially or spiritually. The Pentacles represents the resources, so it's a recovery from a resource loss of some sort. Now this is something that would have happened in the past. Now resources could mean many different things. It could be financial, it could be time, it could be education, it could be spiritual as well, right? So I'm not sure which one it will reflect to you, but it talks that in the past there was a recovery of a loss. Now for your present situation, we have the Ace of Pentacle. Now the Ace talks about a beginning. Pentacle again here talks about resources, and this could also kind of talk about contracts, new arrangement. Now because I understand you and your fiance are engaged, getting engaged, as well as this is an arranged marriage, this card would represent kind of the beginning of your union together, right? The coming together of this contract, this agreement. Now, because this is the Pentacle card, and this is an arranged marriage, it is kind of indicating that it is not an emotional contract, like it's not a coming of emotion, it's not emotional based. This is and kind of more like an agreement base, right? Which would make sense with an arranged marriage. And this is what this card is indicating, right? The engagement and then the upcoming nuptials. Now for the future card, this is if you carry on your current path, this is what the future is going to look like. And for this one here we have the Moon. Now the Moon talks about illusion, fear, anxiety, insecurity, jumping to conclusions. So what this is telling me is your relationship with your fiance when you're married will have some anxiety. There'll be some disconnect there, like you're going to be making assumption, kind of be worried about it, always kind of thinking that things aren't smooth. You're going to worry a lot about it, right? Now the communication is not going to be there to kind of smooth things over, so it's going to be a bit of a rough patch. I don't see this union becoming kind of a loving, harmonious union. It's just always going to have that level of unknown disagreement, I guess, or fear, kind of. It's not going to be harmonious. There's always going to be some kind of doubt or blame happening in here. Now we're going to look at the different options. The first option that we have coming up here is the 7 of Cups, and the 7 of Cups was actually reversed, and I forgot to reverse this in my presentation. I apologize for that. So this is actually the 7 of Cups reversed. Now the 7 of Cups and a reverse situation talks about temptation, illusions, diversionary tactics. So it sounds like manipulation a little bit, right? It kind of goes along a little bit with the previous things. It kind of there's it's not harmonious here, but it sounds more about like manipulation here, right? Like purposely creating purposely creating these delusions, trying to manipulate situation, kind of and it's not talking about, like I don't see this as just kind of letting it be. I'm kind of really seeing this as trying to manipulate the situation, but not necessarily, like not in a positive way. I'm kind of seeing just, yeah, like things are just kind of constantly seems like on attack mode almost, right? And so it's not, I don't see this to be as a very harmonious coming together. Now the advice or warning that would kind of cause this type of outcome, we have the Seven of Sword and the Devil. So the Seven of Sword here talks about strategy, betrayal, deceit, sneaky behavior, which kind of goes along with that Seven of Cups reversed, right? So if you kind of follow, now if your relationship kind of follows deceit, concentrate on kind of sneaky behavior, trying to allow things or making things happen that shouldn't be happening in the marriage, manipulation, right? And now we also have the Devil, and the Devil talks about bondage, addiction, sexuality, materialism. So I just kind of see if there's this manipulation happening and almost kind of deceit going on between you and your fiance, you will end up where things will constantly be manipulated. You won't reach a level of harmony in this level either. But it's just going to be a little bit more unsettling, I guess. Now, for the next options that we have, the outcome here we have is Judgment reversed. Now, Judgment reverse talks about self-doubt, refusal of self-examination. So I'm kind of seeing down this path that you would be in conflict with yourself. You would be not at ease with yourself. So I'm seeing this kind of affecting you personally here. This is also a major arcana, so if you kind of go down that route, this is another strong path for you. But I see that there's a kind of, yeah, just with yourself, there's going to be this discord there. Like you're going to be at war, like with yourself, right? Now the advice or the warning that we have for this path is we have the Page of Sword reverse and the Queen of Sword. Now Sword tends to talk more about mindset, and because these are royalties, I see this as talking about an individual, and I think it's talking about you here. Now Page of Sword talks about all talk, no action, undelivered promises. So what this is telling me is, like, following this path, if you do not go along with the marriage, right? The Queen of Sword talks about being a quick thinker, organized, perceptive, and independent, because what I'm saying is, if you do not go along with this marriage agreement, now in order to do that, you would have to be kind of really quick thinking, organized. It would have to be something that's really planned, and then independent, right? Because you're looking at going your own way. I seen that doing something like that leads to you being unsatisfied with yourself. Like you're going to be conflicted with your emotions. You're going to have, I see guilt. Is just, it would be a hard path to follow anyways, right? And that's if that happens. Now in this reading, we did have a jumper card come up. And this jumper card was the Hanging Man. Now, the Hanging Man is suspension, restrictions, letting go, and sacrifice. Now, with this reading, what I'm seeing is that if you follow your current path and you go through with the marriage and you kind of try to make the best of it, it will never become a strong, loving marriage. There's always going to be some anxiety there. There's going to be some self-doubt. It'll just never develop in something that would be kind of a truly emotional union, right? You're not going to connect on an emotional level with this. Now, if you try to manipulate the situation and kind of, so with the first option, if there's some manipulation there, if there's, like really where you're trying to kind of go through with it, but trying to manipulate this into what you want it to be, or if he does, right? I'm seeing that it's going to be a little bit worse, right? Like there's going to be excuse me, I just see that there'll be constant battle almost of the will, right? Trying to manipulate one another, trying to kind of gain the upper hand here. So I kind of see more of a discord, I guess, on that path. Now, if you follow the other path where you try to get out of this arrangement, I'm seeing that would really dwell on you. I think there'd be a lot of self-doubt. There'd be a lot of, and I think just the rift that may create with your family. It's going to be a hard path if you try to follow that. Now, the Hangman, the jumper card, the Hanging Man here, I think is a really strong message. What I'm seeing this to say is that, yes, there's going to be sacrifice on this path, but let go. This is the path you're meant to be on. This is what I'm kind of seeing this card to mean. And I know I've done other readings about this situation for you. I think you need to trust the message that you're getting and accept the situation for what it is. I'm of the belief that in each of our lives, I believe in multiple lives, that every time we come to Earth, we pre-plan certain events in our life, and this one is part of your path. Now, some of these events will bring us joy. Some of these events will be a kind of a hurdle for us to kind of overcome, but they are really important for us to live them because they are meant, this is how our soul will grow. We have certain lessons we are meant to learn, and that going through these experiences will allow our soul to learn these lessons so that it may grow. To me, the Hanging Man is saying you're meant to live this life, you're meant to have these lessons. So kind of go with it, make the best of it. If it never turns into emotional, harmonious relationship, that's okay. You'll have other things in your life that will bring you joy and you can just kind of concentrate on, such as your children's and different things like that. Well, Dipti, I hope that this message resonated with you, and I hope that it brought you the clarity that you were seeking. Have a lovely day.